Rowlatt Committee. The person who was heading this committee was known as Sidney Rowlatt. Fine. This is also known as Sedition Committee. Sedition, Sedition, Sedition Committee. Now, this person, Sidney Rowlatt, he recommended an act. That act is known as, or sorry, that act was known as an anarchical, ANARCHICAL, Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act. Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act. ANARCHICAL. Crimes Act. This was the official name of this act, and it is colloquially or by the commoners known as Rowlatt Act, because this was recommended by Sidney Rowlatt. Now, as per this act, they can arrest anyone if they are suspicious about one person that this person is doing anti-British activities. They can arrest that person, and they need not give any reason for his arrest. First point was that. Secondly, there are many evidences, and those evidences, whether those evidences are accepted or not, is governed by Indian Evidence Act of yes, Mr. Lawyer, Indian Evidence Act of ये तो फिर वकालत के नाम पे Indian Evidence Act of 1872. So as per Indian Evidence Act, there are some provisions that whether we can accept this evidence or not. So as per this act, Rowlatt Act, they can accept those evidences also which are not acceptable under Indian Evidence Act. Getting my point? As per this act, those evidences which are not acceptable under Indian Evidence Act could also be accepted as a evidence. Fine. And thirdly, there was no appeal Evidence Act. There was no appeal, no question, and nothing can be asked from the Britishers about the person who has been arrested under Rowlatt Act. There cannot be any question, or there was no appeal against the decision of judge. Fine. Now, when this act was brought, many people were against this act, and most of the leaders, Indian leaders, they protested against this act, that this is not the fine act. At the same time, there were two leaders in Punjab region. One was Dr. Satyapal, and another one was Saifuddin Kichlu. Saifuddin Kichlu. Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin, Saifuddin. They were two leaders कांग्रेस के, नॉर्मल लीडर्स थे. Now, they, Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, they were arrested by the Britishers on 9th April 1919. They were arrested by the Britishers and they were taken to some unknown place. They were arrested by the Britishers 9th April 1919, and they were taken to some unknown places, and people protested against this arrest. On next day, April 10, protested against this. Next day, on 10th April, people were protesting against this. अब क्या हुआ कि when people were protesting against this, so police also came, British police also came there. This was happening in Punjab region. So many people were there protesting, and police came, and firing was there, in which some of the people died, and there were some violence. There was some violence also, and this violence was on both sides, and some Englishmen were also beaten up by the Indians. And in this process, there was one lady missionary. His name was Marcella Sherwood, Marcella Sherwood, Marcella Sherwood, MAR. There was a British missionary, Marcella Sherwood. She was passing by, MARCELLA A Sherwood, SHERWOOD. And she was passing by a road. She was going on bicycle, and she was stopped by some protesters, and she was beaten up. Fine. इंग्लिश ने रोका था. She was beaten up. लिख लो पहले, थोड़ा तेज हो रहा है. Written, Shivani. Now, when this lady was beaten up, now the news got viral, and Britishers could not digest that a lady of their origin was beaten up by the Indians.